What's going on, traders? How we doing? We're getting right to the action, not taking a moment to talk, of course, right about the rule the pool competition. We got some people in here, even in our chat, that was competing. So super excited to get to the top winners. We got them ready. I'm not going to let you see them too much. I gave you a sneak preview right there, but stick around. We'll be getting through the winners and we'll be joined by the first place, guys. Stick around. There's a crazy trade that was involved in that one. And of course, like always, we'll be going into our trading action, getting back to what we know best, Ryan. Let's get back to our process. One of the things that I will be doing, of course, is sizing down a lot, right? After a competition. Number one thing you don't want to do is get caught with some big position sizing in our real account. So at this point now, we got to go ahead and take a kind of a little bit of a slow down, hit the brake. That's what I'm going to try to do today. We'll see what happens. We'll be joined by Michael in a little bit, the winner. And of course, smash the like, guys. The rule of the pool competition was definitely fun. I'm going to kick it to Ryan to take a look at the S&P 500. If you guys have any stocks you guys want to go over, throw them up in the chat. This is your chance, like always. Let's get right to the action. How we doing, Ryan?
We're doing all right. Happy hump day out there. Yeah, let's take a look at the market and see what we got going today.
All right. What do we got?
All right. Well, the first thing is this ferocious bounce on the SPY seems to have started to slow down. We'll see if it continues to slow down. I think eventually it's going to have to reverse. I've been off sides on this, like I've said a number of times. We had a really interesting discussion in the happy hour. Several really plugged in people thinking that there might be a really good November. We actually might even go back up and test some of the highs. So that's something to consider. But as you can see where the SPY is, we did close above that 436.47 level. We're just under the 100-day moving average at 439.09. And the next big resistance point that was former resistance and support is this 444 level that we would come up on. So to me, I don't know necessarily what we're going to do today. We are strong in the pre-market here, so I wouldn't be surprised if we break through yesterday's intraday high and continue to trade higher today. But this is kind of where we're at. These are some of the levels that I'm going to be looking at for the SPY. As far as some of these levels go, I'm mainly waiting for a daily candle to close. These levels are important to me when I have the full data. What happens intraday is totally different, and I use other charts and indicators to determine whether or not there's a trade there. But looking where the SPY is going, this is kind of what I got. These are excuse me, these are some of the key levels for the SPY. Now let's take a look at some of the morning movers here. I've got a couple of them. First one here is going to be ENVX. Now ENVX had earnings, right? So their shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q3 financial results. You can see here we were just right at about $10 yesterday, and now we're almost at 12. Now, if we take a look at the daily chart here, you can see we have come off the bottom. This is actually a fairly decent bounce off of the bottom. And let's see now if we can reclaim some of these. The one thing, let me make sure here. Silicone-made lithium-ion battery development and production. So I'm wondering how some of these companies tie into some of the other themes that we're seeing. I know that these are lithium ion batteries. So this has nothing to do with the EV cars, which is what I was checking there. But it seems to me that some of these smaller stocks are moving around in baskets. We'll see if there are any sympathy plays. ENVX, nice strong earnings catalyst here this morning. Nice decent gap. We'll see if we get any setups on ENVX today. Next from the movers of GAN, this is a buyout, by the way. I think 197 was the price paid, so no trades here. Let me actually just confirm that real quick here. Yeah, GAN agrees to be acquired by Sega Sammy Creation for 197 a share in cash. So no trade there. That's I got my numbers right. Yee, that's good. It's a good start to the morning here. Next one is going to be TAOP. This is Taoping. This is one of those China names. I actually think that we've traded this before as a group. I want to say that somebody in here has really kind of hit. Maybe this was a Crow name. Crow, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like TAOP has been traded here in the past. We are popping pretty nicely here. We're popping off of the bottom. Big thing that you can take away from the daily chart is when we have these big pops, they always regress back to the mean the next day. So when you see something like this, I don't think we're necessarily going to have a multi-day runner. If you do end up trading this, make sure that you take those gains instead of just leaving it on and then having them bleed back. Don't be afraid to take gains on this. If you think it's going to go higher and you want to book some of your gains, you can always sell it, book the gains, rebuy when the stock sets up, maybe even rebuy in smaller size so you don't jeopardize all of the profits that you made. TAOP, this one's volatile, but this one in play here today. Next, we've got Lumo, and this is Lumos Pharmaceuticals. Now, one of the things that I've noticed is that some of these biotechs have recently started to get pretty hot. Now I'm not sure what this is going to do here today, but judging by the range here yesterday, we were just over $9. Now we've pared back a lot of those gains. We're beneath the VWAP, the stock really leaking here in the pre-market. So as always, what I want to see is this firm up here. This is pretty risky unless we can confirm that there's some type of bottom, or maybe even a curl in there. If we take a look at the news here, we had earnings last night. Stock has a revenue of 7K. And then we also had data, right? So Lumos Pharma, announces top line data for phase 2 Oragral trials in PGHD met all primary and secondary endpoints. So getting a good data in addition to the earnings here. I guess it's a little bit surprising given that news that we've bled all the way back. That tells me that this initial move was likely an overreaction, but that doesn't mean that this can't get fired up at some point here today. So definitely keep this one on your watch list. We don't necessarily need to go buy this and trade this right away, but just understand that there's some pretty decent catalysts with this name. Perhaps we end up seeing some volume flow into this and then trade to the upside. Next here is going to be Roblox. Now, Roblox announced earnings here this morning. We have a really big move up here. Roblox shares are trading higher after the company reported Q3 financial results. Again, if we take a look at the daily chart here, you can see the significance of this move. So the last time, I believe this was earnings too, this August 8, August 9, I believe that was an earnings that really kind of brought this thing down. You can see we spent some time around here. We did kind of stay under the beginning of this gap right here. Let me actually just draw the line so I can use my mouse to point at other things here. We draw this horizontal line here. You can see we actually stayed under this as resistance. We use this line as resistance. We recently broke through. Now we've got good data on top of that. This thing completely filled the gap and looks like it's going into the next supply zone. You can see that this sideways area here, this definitely is going to represent some resistance for the stock. We'll see how it trades today. I'd be shocked if we really just kind of blew through this. If we do, I would actually look for a mean reversion. I think that we probably need to have some price discovery in this area before we take it out and move towards that 50 handle. That would just be my guess. We'll see Roblox really strong this morning on an earnings catalyst here. Boyle, I guess we could mention this. This is, of course, oh no, this is not Boyle. This is BIOL, excuse me. That's one of those fake out names. That's like the fake Tesla, the TLSA. Anyway, BioLay here. This did pop as high as what, 255? Yeah, 255. Really bled back a lot of those gains. So do we have a catalyst here? I don't see anything. If you folks have anything out there, let me know on this one. This might just be kind of a momentum move, maybe even a room pump or something like that. Who knows? It did gap up here, but again, I want to see some of these confirm. I want to see something a little bit more. I think I would prefer to just kind of watch Lumo and wait for that to kind of turn around in terms of a trade instead of this, just because we've got nothing here. We do have earnings tomorrow after the market closes on this name, so keep that in mind. Tenon, this is from yesterday. So Tenon gave us a great trade yesterday. Actually gave multiple trades if you were still trading in the afternoon. We've actually pushed up this morning here in the pre-market. Worth noting that the pre-market move here today did take us over yesterday's intraday high. We actually came back beneath that. So if we hold this area here, this first spot here at 278, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sellers at 280 as well. This is likely going to provide some resistance. I think this is going to be one of those areas where if we break through this area, we could actually pop. Now, I know a lot of these upside range breaks haven't been working, but when they have worked, they've really, really gone. PXMD was an example of that. What was the other stock that we had earlier this week on Monday that did the same thing? I'm drawing a blank on the actual ticker, but when we see it, they really go. A lot of them can be kind of a fake breakout. So we'll see. Tenon gave us an opportunity yesterday. Let's keep it on the watch list at least here for today and see if it gives us another opportunity here today. I did want to check on some more real quick here. BYU, this popped in the after hours yesterday, popped twice here in the pre-market today. Don't really see anything. Don't really know much about this name. We are in a decent uptrend here, so I guess as long as the volume sticks around, maybe this is in play. But I'll be honest, I don't really know a whole lot about this at all. Let me know if you if any of you guys have any of this. I already see some of you. Okay. So for BIOL, thank you, Carmen, and thank you, Rick. For BIOL, landmark study confirms a positive 12-month follow-up. Okay, so that's good too. That's pretty good catalyst there too. We'll see if that ends up materializing and holding throughout the course of the day here. BYU, same deal, team. Go after it. If you can find what's going on here on BYU, let's do it. One more here before I welcome Mitch back. CDIO. This was from yesterday. Now, this was a penny stock yesterday that became no longer a penny, or that was no longer a penny stock as it had a huge move up here on gigantic volume. I'll say this. I'm not a fan of penny stocks, but when they move like this is exactly what I'm looking for in stocks that are above $1 and that are not actually penny stocks. I'd love to see this volume expansion that really drives a massive price change. That's what we're trying to hit every day. The good thing about CDIO is when this came back in, there's actually another opportunity late in the afternoon. Now, today we're popping here in the pre-market. Let's see if it has the same strength when the market opens as it did yesterday. A couple of spots to look for here are going to be that intraday high. I've got one at 174 and 165. Pre-market high of 171. So between 165 and 174, we're likely to see some resistance. If it breaks through that, giddy up. This thing might continue to run. If you take a look at the daily chart here, this kind of gives you an idea of what the stock can do. We've seen the stock move from $1.23 up to $8 previously in a session. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen here today, but just understand what the stock is capable of. Let's wait and see what type of opportunity it presents. And then I guess we could just, Mitch is back real quickly here. Rivian, this did pop yesterday. I believe this was earnings, wasn't this? Yes. Rivian reported earnings, looks good, trading up here. Shout out to, well, maybe not a shout out, but Jay, I know that you were mentioning earlier, or the last several days, you were talking about Li Auto. I think yesterday you made a comment that Li was one of the only green EV plays. Looks like Rivian here has beat. We'll see what that outlook looks like here today. Mitch, you ready to roll?
Oh yeah, ready to go for sure. And stick around, guys. Of course, we got a lot for you guys on this special show. You guys see it, the special recap, of course, the rule the pool competition. And I got someone that will be joining us in just a second here, and so definitely stick around. Michael's going to be coming in, and we'll talk a little bit about some trading action. Then we'll get to our guest, who's going to be joining us at 10:15. So we got a lot more for you guys today. Going to stick around. Let's go ahead. Let's bring on Michael here right now. How we doing, Michael?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Doing great. Ready to talk a little bit about some trading action, of course, as we get closer and closer. But definitely had a great competition, Michael. So I wanted to thank you for the opportunity. We definitely took some swings. Sometimes you ain't gonna hit them all, right? But the truth is learning from it, right? And I think that we took a lot of learning lessons. That's what the show is really all about, right? Is trying to learn, and that's what I think, especially like these competitions are mainly for, right? Teach you. Do you have that ability to trade with that size, right? And that's what we saw a lot of. So what did you see a lot in the competition, Michael?
All right, it was amazing. A lot of the guys, like I said, went head to head, and up until like the last minute of yesterday close, we still had few that moved from different places. One that was on 11th place got to the 10th place, and so on. They really fought their way. And interesting to see also the trades and the charts, looking at the real trades, what they actually traded and how they traded it. Because this is what we love, in our company when we're doing such a thing like competition. Obviously, it's entertainment and fun and all of that, but we also can learn a lot about the data, about the traders that actually, participated in this contest. So we analyze the data. It takes time, obviously, but afterwards, we can actually understand more about trading in general, like retail trading, but also on a specific trader.
Do you know of any insights that you're trying to draw from that data? Like what types of things would you
Yeah.
like to learn from looking at the competition data?
Yeah, that's great, Ryan. So there are many things we are filtering or checking. First, the symbols, like what type of trading, what type of asset, or the sector that they trade in. Most of them, obviously, what type of strategy are we looking for? More traders are focusing on buying the dip or breakouts or pullback, those kind of elements. And of course, after that, when we find traders that fit to our criteria, I guess that's the word, then zooming in as well and trying to understand why did he choose that risk and how did he scale into the position too. So not just the setup, but also the trade management itself.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I'm getting ready, of course, for the open. I got my trade the pool ready to get after it, team. And in a second, we'll review about the competition, the top list. But there was someone even in our chat that made the list. So stick around for that, guys. We'll get into that conversation just after the open, probably around 9:45 as we get towards our guest, 10:15. So stick around. We got a lot for you guys, and gonna watch to see what happens here at the open. Any stocks on your radar, Michael? What have you been watching lately?
Yeah, I got a few. I don't know if Ryan already talked about them. Probably RBLX, right?
Yep.
Okay. Roblox, yeah, definitely.
Yes, eBay. I
I'll
see
show you guys
also,
that. There we
and
go.
also see, yeah, Roblox. Let me get that on my screen as well. Can I share it? Can I
Heck
share my
yeah.
screen as well?
Let's
No?
do it, man. That's the fun part about this. We can have like 10 screens up. We're ready to switch from all of them. Let's get to the action. Everyone wants to
So,
see your screens, of course. And I'm seeing that Roblox starting to pull back. Here you go. Got your screens
yeah.
ready. Put you up here.
Okay, so that's a crazy gap up, 35 to 40. The only thing is that I'm watching it and I only see resistance, like major resistance coming between the 42.70 all the way up to 44.80. So those are my levels in order to short it. So if the price will reach those levels, I'll try to block Roblox. And maybe if it will drop to the area of 40, we can start looking to buy the dip. But I'm more into the shorting side, at least for today. And did you talk about UPST?
No, I didn't. I focused on
talk
some of the
about it.
smaller stocks. That's perfect.
That's a good one to
Nice.
talk about.
So that's it's gapping down like $8. So that's nice. I marked a few of the levels that I have here. One is at 21.40. The other one all the way to 15.91 or so. So the idea for me, at least, is to break that 21.40, retest it, and then maybe try to drop down again to the 20, obviously first, but then hopefully they will drop it all the way to the 16. So this is a short side bias, at least for me. And of course, I heard you talk about Rivian as well, RIVN. So gapping to the 1860. I didn't mark the levels yet. I guess the first one will be here at 18. I really like this 200 EMA on the hourly chart. So a classic move could be dropping down on a 1 minute chart, dropping down to test the hourly EMA and then bounce up and we got this level at around 1970, the close of the gap and also the previous resistance. So that could be a nice play as well. That's what I got.
All right. I'm going to interrupt here just for the chat's asking me something about pre-market prep, but I talked about our cannabis show as Ohio goes legal today. That could be moving like MSOS, so you guys can keep your eyes on stocks like that today. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to throw you up some links here, team. This is our YouTube. We have another channel, Benzinga Cannabis, if you just want to check out the Benzinga Cannabis, or you guys can check out also the Dales Report team, and they'll be on later today, guys. So 410, don't miss that. I'm sure they'll be talking all about this. And if you guys want to check out their most recent podcast of the Trade to Black, here it is, guys. We're always trying to bring you guys more. So this is actually a collab that we do with the Dales Report, guys. So definitely check out that stream. Great personalities on that stream. I definitely enjoy it. And I actually produce it. So if you guys want to check it out, definitely go ahead and take a look. Let's get back to the trading action. We'll see what happens today. Michael's been calling out some names. I'm going to take a look here to see what happens today. Of course, Rivian's been doing well off of their earnings. That's something that I'll keep an eye out for. Hood didn't do that great, but I kind of expected that. And that just goes to show me more and more that retail traders are probably going to need options, as they're probably going away from the traditional kind of brokerages like Hood, and maybe checking out some prop action. Can't blame them, right? We'll see what happens, but definitely their active users going down. So maybe they're switching and finding alternatives there. That's something that I'd mention. But we'll take a look here. Markets opening up. There's the bell, guys. Let's have some fun. We're going to have Michael on for a little bit here. So I definitely do the call out for you guys to smash the like. Michael hanging out with us here towards the open. If you guys see anything that you guys want to call out, definitely go ahead. And like always, since we have 3 traders on today, if you guys see any trade that you guys want to talk about, Michael, Ryan, feel free to let me know. If not, I'll take the lead here and see what we come up with. All right, get after it, team. Gil's in the chat. You know it. Good luck, team. Let's see what we can come up today. Ding, ding, ding is right. All right, so first thing I always look at is just like sector-wise, what's leading right out the back. Right out the back, a sector that's been hurt the last 2 days, which is real estate leading, and also basic materials. We'll see industrials in third place there. And what's down? What's down leading the downside? Communication services. So is this the time when we start to see Verizon turn back to the downside? That's going to be one that I'll be looking for a short, as this has been hanging up there for a couple of days now. Now could start dropping. I see communications going lower, so I'm not going to take any time here. I'm going to try to come after Verizon. All right, let's go really small here just to get the first trade on the day. I'm going 100 shares here, short Verizon. Just got that at 35.89. Look for this to kind of hold the 36 risk, not above the high of 36.04 in the pre-market. Let's see if this can really start to break down here and go towards the next levels on the downside. And this is kind of more of a quick reactionary trade based on the sector, and going to look to see if this could break down the support 35.88 and start going lower. Next levels for me will be a move back down to 35.76. We'll see what happens there on Verizon. Small trade.
I'm watching Lumo, as we discussed out of the gate. First move here is down on Lumo.
All right. If you guys see any trade out there, team, definitely mention it. Tesla. What's up with the dragon here? Coming right back down.
I took a short on UPST.
Okay.
Just testing the water.
All right. I'll take a look at that chart at least as we're seeing the first action there.
CDIO might be going here.
Upstart down to 20.95. We'll see if that can continue going lower. You know what I call this stock, right, Michael?
What's that?
Down stop instead of upstart.
Nice.
They talked about the AI lending platform. We talked about this on pre-market prep. It was kind of interesting to see some of their personal loans, man. These were, let's just say, expensive on the APR there. The high one, I think it was like 39%. I don't think I ever want to take a loan for 39% interest rate, but hey, to each his own, right?
Long CDIO here, 160. Looking for a break on that pre-market high. We'll see if we get it. I know I went in a little bit early, but
CDIO, not a
CDIO, repeat from yesterday. We'll see if it works.
Yeah, it didn't move too much yesterday, and that's the thing with this one. Is I think you got to get a little bit bigger size in to try to make that cash. But we'll see if it can get back through the 180s. Yesterday being like resistance right around the 177 area. So I'm looking for the move above 180 on that one. It's at 169. Ryan, what are you looking for?
The pop of 170 here, size at 170. They're taking it.
There you go.
There it goes, and through, and
Boom,
we're through.
boom,
Bang,
boom.
big move.
180. See how it stopped there too?
Yep, bingo. And there's more size at 180 here, Mitch. By the way, so
Yeah,
we'll see if 180 falls.
Usually when you see resistance, look at that wall right there, 52,000 going down, 22,000. That's what you want to see when you're trying to break that wall.
They're chomping it
Boom.
here.
That's the
Not
level
on the
two.
first attempt. We'll see if we get it on the second attempt here. CDIO.
Yeah, I really enjoyed having the market depth, and I would definitely recommend using like this box, even if you're not putting your orders through and you're maybe using this box for your orders. It's definitely something that I've been using and looking for those walls on the kind of the level 2 here that we have from Trade the Pool. Check it out, team. Definitely a feature that I would have on my screen. Bullish Disney going green. Farrell Towers talking about that. I heard there was mentions and rumors out there by Dan Ives about potentially seeing Apple buy ESPN. Do you guys think that could happen?
No.
That's insane.
Right? That's insane, right, Michael? You see, I try to catch talk out there and bring it to the team.
Dan Ives is a nice guy who wears some really colorful things, but they keep this guy in a closet at CNBC, and whenever tech goes down, they bring him out to pump it. He's a big Apple bull. He's been doing that for a long time. I don't think so.
Yeah.
All right, guys,
nice job,
Verizon
Frederick, on the
doing
in and out of CDIO. I think I should have done the same thing. I was holding for that 181 break. This has almost come all the way back to where I bought it. So a little bit disappointing there, but we'll see if we bounce and move higher here.
Move back into the 90s. I'm going to add on Verizon looking for the takedown, but I'm already into green here. Not like a big trade. Of course, one thing that I talked about when we started this show is that coming from a trading competition account where I had an insane amount of buying power, and I need to take it easy, right? Because I need to be back into my focused, what I'm good at. And that's not taking extreme size, but more taking my base hits. I'll be looking for some base hits today, guys. Let's see if we can load the bases up.
I love all the baseball references that you throw into your trading, Mitch. That makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game of failure, baseball, and that's why I compare it a lot with trading, right?
That's well said.
You know, and that's why I think I like trading so much. Also, it's because I played baseball for so long, and it's a tough game itself, right? So, if you're like 30% accurate in baseball, you're
you go
a
to
beast.
the all-star game.
You're an all-star game, so. Things like that. And that's why I also don't try to be, let's say, 70, 80, 90% accurate. Some traders just can't do this, guys. You're not going to be 90% accurate. What do I do to adjust? Think risk and reward, right? So 3-to-1 outlook, a lot of the times, that's what I look for. Rivian at support, says Gil. Gil, you looking at Rivian? What are you thinking? Short, long? What do you like out there? All right, baseball is the game for failure. Yeah.
CDIO closed on this pullback?
Essentially is. It's like a game that tests your mental. And what does trading do a lot of the time? Tests your mentality, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of the times it's a test of mentality of how you can stay focused, how you can execute. We'll see what happens. Affirm getting crushed. Good mention there, Marty. That's the one that we played to the long side, and we're starting to see some of those kind of momentum plays get hit. There you guys see it. Affirm taking a big whip down. We'll see if we start to see a decline today in the market. Qs pop and drop now. We'll see what happens to the big boys if they go in the red. Amazon, that was strong yesterday, down almost 0.49%. We'll see if that goes lower. Will Microsoft go to red and Apple go to red? If those two go to red, that's when I'll definitely be careful about a pullback. Go ahead.
I was going to say Apple's extremely strong out of the gate here. Tesla going red. Tesla, big sell-off right out of the open.
All right, guys. So I did have a swing on that I want to tell you guys. It's at SMCI and Roku. Big move to the downside there. That's working for me, guys. So I might have to look for Roku, but move back to VWAP. But I have a swing short on Roku. Going to look for this to continue coming down. You guys know I've been talking about the Roku move down. I'm getting it today, but just in my swing trade. SMCI is another one that I like to the long side. I took that one yesterday on start swing trade. Let's see if this can actually get above the 257 and hold pullbacks. I got 254.48 on that. And also taking Valero to the short side. So oil is something that I'll keep an eye out. What are you guys seeing out there?
I'm getting my ass kicked on UPST, still in. If it will break through this resistance from the pre-market at 22.30 or so, I'll be done with that trade.
I like it. At least you've had a couple bounces here. So 3 rejections from the 2250s. It went to 2240s on that last time. One more rejection would be my rule of 3, Michael. I talk about this all the time, where I look for 3 attempts to break resistance, and on that 4th failing. If that 4th fails, I usually look for a move back down to support to break that support now. So we'll see what happens here. Does it hold above and get above, like, let's say the 2240s, going to 2250s, something that I'll keep an eye out for on UPST. All right, Verizon coming back to me now in the 90s. In the 93s, I'm going to go ahead and start adding to here and looking for a takedown in Verizon.
EVgo here pulled back out of the open with that gapped higher here, pulled back and was right back on towards the highs. So EVgo, that's interesting. CDIO came back in here, but looks like it's trying to find some support. We'll see if that curls. BLDE here. This looks like this is trying to snap some of the highs here. Let me get, sorry, I should have put my screen up there. BLD, this looks like this is trying to take out this 3 level. Watch this 3 level here. I'm seeing Life W appear again on the relative volume scanner. Looks like we stopped at about that pre-market high on Life W. We'll see if that sets up here. TAOP, we talked about that one from the list. That's just completely back to earth.
Looking for a move to 82.90s on Roku to get short. And then I could add in like 83.10s. Risk going to be 83.40s, but I'm going with a smaller size there. Michael, I'm going to put you in the back for just a second. You let me know when you're ready to come back. All right, what you got for me, Ryan? What you coming after today?
ENVX coming in. Yeah, I went a little early on CDIO. I'm kind of keeping an eye on it. We might actually be curling back up here on CDIO.
Roku didn't give you that.
NVOS. Watch for a pullback on NVOS. That one might work. I'm going to try a little CDIO here.
All right, guys. Increasing exposure to Verizon now. I got 300 shares, 35.89. Not going to open up anymore. That's my full size position there on Verizon. Now looking for it to break through the lows, which is 35.80s. If we break that and start going in the 70s, that's where I could start taking some profits. Looking to make, if I can make like, 40, 50 bucks on this and just keep kind of getting the base hits, that's what I want to do today. I also have an order out for Roku, but no fill there. Let's see if Microsoft can go red or some of the big boys can go red. That's going to help out this trade. Communications is still leading to the downside, and that's one thing that I was looking for specifically. I could also look at AT&T to maybe get short that, but I'm going to stick with just Verizon for right now. What I like that didn't hesitate on the VWAP. VWAP's so important for me. So that's something that I'm definitely looking at. There we go, down to the 80s there. We'll see what happens if we get this next little washout, but looking pretty good here on Verizon so far.
Tesla bouncing here off the lows as well. So for you Tesla players out there, getting a nice bounce here. Not in that myself. Still waiting for CDIO to bounce here. It looks like it might give this up. We're back down at VWAP here. Break down from here and move through the low of 147, and we'll cut this. We'll cut this.
All right, 82s, let's go. Let's get that breakdown through the lows. I'm looking for a little bit of a declining action here in Verizon. And this is one of my classic strategies, right, which is a VWAP fade. Going back to the bread and butter sometimes is important. This has support right underneath it towards, let's say, 35.62s. And if we crack that, then we can get towards the next layer. Next layer, I see it towards 35.20s. And then there's a further layer towards 34.60s. So what I'm going to look for is taking majority of it off through this 35.60s into 35.20, somewhere in between there. and then look for the rest of it to work all day long. Kind of a swing trade approach, right? Take some profits, leave the rest for the swing. All right, looking around team to see what's working out there. All right, guys, what are you guys seeing out there? We'll get to the action right now.
Yeah, I'm at do or die here for CDIO. It's got to bounce here. If it goes lower, I'm cutting it. Just taking the L on it. Eat It, by the way, big move down and bouncing. That's the stock I took a starter on for a swing. Ticker EDIT. That's having a decent move here this morning. Amazon pounding the lows, and it looks like that Tesla bounce, at least for now, is over. I know we talked a little bit about Twilio this week, thanks to Jay Rice out there. Twilio, of course, reports earnings tonight. Excuse me. We did pop as high as almost 57, 56.88, your high print here this morning. Well, that's coming back in, but that's decent volume and looks strong here ahead of earnings. EDIT making a move back up towards that 880. We'll see if we can take 9 again on EDIT. Beck's calling Life W. We'll see if Life W actually gets rolling. That one has been, oh my God, big power move here on Life W off of that VWAP. Great call.
All right, guys, I'm seeing one that I wanted to take a shot on. I talked about it on Start Swing Trade. American Airlines going higher. As the airlines start to go higher, I've been wanting to play this a little bit, and this would just be into the holiday season, like kind of a quick trade action. So now I need to pull back towards, let's say, 94s, 96, somewhere in that space. I can take American Airlines. 12 would have been also maybe a buy, but it's already above that. I don't want to extend up here. I'm looking for pullbacks to VWAP to take a little bit of a shot on American.
I love hearing that. Remember, I took a shot on Spirit Airlines as a swing yesterday. If you want to bring up a daily chart there real quick for Spirit, you'll see the bounce setup that we had setting up there. Like you were saying,
ticker again? I forget it now. Save. There you go. I haven't looked at it in so long. That's why.
Yeah, and you know what? I actually hate the airlines so much. I rarely look at it, but this chart really set up. Look at that. Look at this move down here.
I like the bottom.
Exactly. And I think that the other thing about this is that this actually gives you a really clear plan for risk to reward. You break that bottom candle, you're out, just wait for it to set up again, not far away from where you're at. So your loss is fairly minimized. And look what happens if this thing really starts to regain any type of upside momentum. Huge range there. I'm looking for 14s on safe.
I like the idea there, and you can also look at maybe JetBlue as the cheap name too, 436. I think JetBlue bounced off of 350s. If you guys are looking for the cheaper name ones, right? I usually like to stick up the best of breed. So that's DAL, UAL, and American Airlines. They're all looking decent right now. So I'm going to keep an eye on those airlines trade. And of course, what is that? In industrials, and industrials are higher today. Another way to play this, you can look at the XLI, right? We'll see if the XLI is able to hold today. But definitely not a bad play there. Verizon doing pretty well here. Just want this to keep breaking through the lows, not coming back through the VWAP at this point. We've had a couple of attempts back above VWAP. Now it's time to really break those lows and keep going. We'll see if this can keep working.
Did you short the what's that, coin? Did you enter
coin? Oh, yeah. Coin I did not get after, but it was a good conversation. I talked about it, how everyone was kept looking at these names for kind of the Bitcoin play, but Mara hasn't been that type of stock there. And the ETFs, who knows when they get announced? That's the hardest part of this trade. I always like when it's a catalyst that I don't have a specific date on, those are going to be the hardest trades, right? Because we never know when the news can hit. It can hit today. It could hit tomorrow. It could hit in 3 months, right? And that's the hard part with trading off of news specifically. Coin is not going up, I think, because of the Coinbase business. They're going up because the ETFs, the spot ETFs, are so valued, and BlackRock would run it through Coinbase, and that's why people are looking at Coinbase, right? At least that's what I feel in the recent action. But I do want to take a second, of course, guys. It's 9:47. If you guys have some trades, keep throwing them up in the chat. We'll keep catching your comments out there, traders. So keep them up. Eldon taking a look at CCL, similar to AAL. Yeah, you're looking at leisured, Eldon. We'll see if that can continue working. Of course, I've been looking at XRT. Roku going down, down, down. There you go. Get after it, Hard Rock. Hey, at least somebody making the money. Like always, I can't give you guys exactly what to trade, but I'll wave the flag where I see it, team. And if you want to go after it, that's always up to you guys. Let's get into the competition. Let's review the leaderboard. And there's someone that we got to give a shout out to, especially here. So I'm going to put it on the screen here. Here's a video, guys, of that leaderboard. So shout out to you guys out there. And there's someone here, especially. Look at that 20th place. And I know the 20th place might not sound like the greatest, but got to give a shout out to my man, Daniel Turner, killing it, man. Shout out to you guys, especially. I mean, anybody that competed from here on our live trading team, we really appreciate it. There was a winner, of course, and there's always going to be a winner of a competition. But really, I think we're all winners if we took part in the Rule of Pool competition, because what was it? It was exactly that. A way to compete against us, a way to compete against everyone out there. And like always, like I always say, compare yourself, right? And don't stress too much if you guys weren't able to make the leaderboard, but take a look at what you do, right? Did you improve during the trading competition, right? Did you find ways to get around and deal with bigger sizing? I think that's definitely something that we can pull out of this. What do you see on the leaderboard that kind of surprised you, Michael?
Only third place, boy, SSN. Like I said, it was up like 127,000 a few days ago, and boy, he lost his first place. But yeah, still hanging on third place, so that's also very nice. Besides that, I'm looking at the numbers here. So 52 million shares during these 7 trading days, and almost 500,000 in profit for the first 10 places. So that's a big number.
That's a pretty good number to reach there. Not bad at all. And I mean, that's what it's about, man, and taking your shots. Now, one thing that we can learn from that third place person is, right, when we make that type of money, what's the number one thing that we always talk about? And Ryan talks about this all the time.
Gains, bro.
Take those gains and capital preservation, right? That's the number one thing we preach here, guys. If you make the capital, you might want to preserve it, man. At that point, let's just be honest. If I was in first place like that, Michael, at that point, I'm maybe taking 100 share positions at that point, maybe just seeing if I can make a couple bucks more. But if you take first place, man, you got to go ahead and take it towards the end. Definitely. It's going to be a tough learning lesson there, right? I think that's the important part. But another thing was the first place prize involved also trading kind of penny stocks, and we're going to get into it. We actually have the first place winner here, actually second,
yeah.
Second place winner that's going to be joining us in just a second here, team. We'll get towards that at 10 a.m. But it's interesting. There are some smaller names here mentioned, and I did see other traders make good money on like names like Tesla. Man, and Tesla yesterday, I got out of that, guys, too early, man. That thing continued climbing all day. Oh, I was so frustrated looking back at the end of the day. I was like, I got out break even, and then the thing went up massively. So shout out to you guys out there. Looks like we got maybe the 8th place person also in the chat here. Is that what I'm seeing, Gil? But definitely seeing a shout out there. Gil's giving a nice little shout out there. So you guys definitely smash the like. It was a fun time, to say the least, right?
Yeah, it was fun. And David Lynn, real quick here, let me go ahead and find that. Where did Mitch and Ryan end up? David, I don't know the exact ranking, but I will say this. I did not do well in this at all. I actually ended in the red. So Marty's saying that's the question that's what you all wanted to know. Look, anyone that competed that finished higher than me, you guys beat me. If you didn't compete, you didn't place higher than me and you didn't beat anything. So just gonna throw that out there. I did not do well in this competition, still enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah, I think what happened to me especially too was trying to fight back, right? And I kept getting some trades that were up like 1,000, but I was looking for more. And so one thing that I'll take the learning lesson is maybe just taking those base hits, because there was like 3 or 4 trades where I was up over that 1,000 mark, but was looking for that $4,000, $5,000 winner. So that's really where I kind of got to the point. And of course, I let those trades go back to red. And I think that was one of the battles that I went with, but we can all learn from it, right? And I think that that's the important part. Ryan and I didn't kill it, but others did. And the truth is, that's what it's about. You're not always going to be on the top of your game, but how can we go ahead and learn from this is the important part. I'll tell you one thing, guys, at least this is going well right now. Let's go, Verizon. Let's keep working down. And this is exactly the bread and butter style trade. Downside through support, back at VWAP, short somewhere at VWAP, except on this one, I shorted through support and added on VWAP. And now at this point, I wouldn't even let it go back through VWAP. So this gives me the ability to look for that nice expansion win. We'll see what happens here for Ryzen, and the airline's still going higher. So we'll see what happens with that one. Not a bad trade there.
Just waiting for the market to start dropping. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say CDIO might be curling. We'll see. But I'm also watching that market. We're at a resistance point here.
Yeah. EKS, I don't have the exact, so I'll take a look, guys. I need to go into it to get the exact for you guys. But I'm in my other account right now, so I'll take a look in a little bit to give you guys the exact placement. It's deep down there, right?
By the way, there were only like 8 or 9 people that actually blew the account and reached the max loss of 20K. So
okay.
Well, I didn't do that.
I didn't do that either. Pat on the back.
Yeah. Congrats.
You got to give yourself the small wins in life sometimes. So that's not a bad one. SMCI, the swing trade, man. Should have been the day trade today too. Let's go. I see you in the chat, AI Rod. That one was mentioned yesterday on Start Swing Trade. This was a nice setup on the daily, guys. So whenever I see these kind of undercut and rally type of trades, this is what I'm looking for. And how do I tell the undercut and rally for swing trades is I want to see big volume as the stock looked like it wanted to break support. That to me is not necessarily sellers getting in. That's buyers stepping up off the support. And this cut through the 240s multiple times, wicks on the bottom end, now starting to come back. This is a big level to watch, 263.50s. But if we can get through that and get towards this high, which is 268.59, SMCI is going to be looking pretty good. And it has not partaken in the rally. So what was I looking for? A laggard in technology that could get going, SMCI. Shakespeare, I'm guessing that's what the name is.
Not bad.
Right? Not too bad, right?
Not bad.
So here's a question here for Michael regarding Trade the Pool. How can I reset my account? So I would definitely reach out to maybe even just Gil, right? Look at Gil. He's fast, man. Gil can definitely help you out. You can also reach out to our help email. You'll see it also down below in the description if you don't catch it in the chat, right? And then there's also plenty of ways that you can do it. But Michael, if you want to give kind of an answer to that also, you can do it. But I think I kind of covered it.
Life W, nice move for all of you folks trading Life W here. Huge move.
That
looks like Bex was in that one. Yeah, it halted, opened up higher. It's going higher here. Awesome for those of you that are in Life W. Nice job.
Yeah, nice support at $6
right now.
There you go, taking some short on the market. We'll see what happens. Verizon doing pretty well there. Man, on SMCI, as I get above 4%, I have to take some profits, guys. So we'll see what happens on that one. Roku's up like a 1.7. Valero's the only one in the red for me. So that one I might add to and look for oil to start coming down here. But we'll see what happens on that one. Roku and SMCI on the swings working really well. And Verizon working really well now. Down to 35.76. Let's go, Verizon. All right, guys, in just about 2 or 3 minutes, we'll be joined by our trader. They got second place, so stick around for that. We'll talk a little bit about that, and then we'll be wrapping up on the trading competition. We'll give you guys some insight of what might be coming forward in Trade the Pool, and if you guys want to check it out for yourself. And then we'll wrap up with Michael, get him out of here, and get back to exactly our trading action on what's going on. But I'm just holding this Verizon right now. No need for me to open another trade. This is working for me. Roku never came back there towards my entry. I wanted 82.90s. It's back at VWAP, which is 82.20s, but I think it's a little bit far away from where I would want to enter here. Roblox holding up there. EVGO holding up. Upwork taking that downside action.
So for Roblox, I'll share my screen for a second.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so I got this one right here. So what I see in Roblox, we talked about the resistance at the top. It didn't reach it yet. Looks for me pretty good to the downside, maybe to try to reach those 39 area. It's also 200 EMA at around these areas. And if so, if it will drop to the 39, I will try to catch it at the bottom, try to buy the dip on Roblox, and then potentially go higher to those resistance levels. So I'm looking for that 39 to start buying it.
We'll see if the market can drop today, man. It's just been a climb and a climb and a climb. The biggest thing for me, the TLT, man, continuing to go strong at 88.80s. I very rarely would do this, but I almost don't need to look too much at the market right now. The TLT's just been leading, man. And that's continuing to climb. Can we get to that high, which is very important, which is to the left? We're really close to it, which is on Friday, November 3rd. We had an 89.05. We're at 88.75. We're trying to get to that high. Can we get above 89.05 and move above that? I think the market could keep running. If it rejects into the 89, maybe we come right back down. Something to definitely keep your eyes open for. I'm seeing some smaller names come up here. Real being mentioned here. So if you guys just trying to catch some smaller names that are moving out there, that TNON trying to set up there for a 3 move.
TNON, yep.
TNON, we've talked about that one multiple times. Under Armour had earnings today, and that's doing pretty well there. That made a nice little move to 715. Teva on the alert out there. I haven't played Teva in so long.
Me either.
I used to play this a lot. American Airlines got up there to 216. So not a bad outlook given on start swing trade to look for potential American Airlines. The airline starting to move. I had an alert set there at 1195s. It blew through that. Got there now towards 1218. So I'm going to look for some pullbacks on airlines, but they're pushing higher right now. We'll see if this can continue to work. All right, guys, it's 10 a.m. It's time to bring on our trader here. We're going to bring on the second place person, as you guys can see from the headline right there, the second place. Let's go ahead. Let's bring him on and find out how he did, maybe what worked for him. If you guys have questions for him, throw it up in the chat. I'll try to grab a question or two. Let's go ahead. Let's bring him on to the show. He doesn't have video on right now, so you guys are going to hear him in audio. But it's good to see you. And what I'll do is I'll make him at least viewable here. So you guys can see him here. Auto avatar joining in here. How we doing, Nate?
Hi.
It's good to see you. It's good.
Hi,
Congratulations.
good to see you also. Thank you. Hello, Michael, Meet, and Ryan.
It's good to see you.
Nice to meet
Good
you,
to
Nat.
be here. Okay. It's so exciting yesterday. I hold for number one for 1 hour, and after that, Mr. Work and Learn.
Actually took the place, right?
Yes, took the place. And
right
so,
at the very end there, what were you thinking during the day as you were in first place for so long there? Were you kind of holding back a little bit and thinking maybe I'll just stick around and wait to the end here, see if I get first place? Were you taking some trades towards the end of the day? Tell us a little bit about how that went.
yes. For me, in the last couple of days, I changed the strategy for some kind of change theme for trading. So I can share your guide with
You
my
want- Awesome. I
presentation.
see that
Yeah.
already. You want me to share your screen, Nate? I
Yes,
just want to
yes,
make
yes.
sure. Okay, I'm putting it up right
It will
now.
be fun.
All right, tell us about
Okay.
this. Look at this, guys. This guy coming prepared.
I love it.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay,
Tell
let's
us
go.
about this.
Okay. Let's start with my growth of my NAV first. The first 10 trading, I'll keep collect a little bit cash flow with the stock, which is
Mhm.
in the theme of energy and the theme of geopolitical, something like oil and gas, something like that. But it didn't respond my timing. It give me a little bit cash flow, as you can see, about 100 or something like that. After that, I changed also the strategy to the other theme. So you can see my NAV or my net asset value a little bit growth as I collect cash flow, and then I have a mistake. So I will share your guide today. And after that, when I have adjust my position and I collect the right stock, so my NAV spring back and hold at the first place for an hour and then drop to the second place. Okay, in overview, I made 72,000 dollar or 56 percentage in on profit, right? As you can see, and Michael here show the NAV up right here.
That's
Okay,
amazing. Yeah, I mean,
Love it,
you have
love
a
it.
success rate of 80%. That's incredible. 81 almost. That's like, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
I just said it a little while ago. I cannot do that. So
Yeah.
shout out to you,
Some
man.
guys
Hey,
your
can.
guy
hey,
will
Yeah.
shout out
see
from
it.
our chat. We're saying, dude, killed it. Absolutely. Great job.
Definitely.
Wow.
Okay, and you guys will see what happened. A lot of things here. I already analyzed it about my transaction and also uh, synergy with my theme. As I say, the first theme I choose to trading is for the bank recover according to Fed rate, which is fixed rate to uh, 5.5%, something like that. So I select Pacific West Bank as a theme of recover after they have problem a lot of uh, financial statement or something like that. After I select that theme and together with the energy and military theme at that time, as we know now, we have issue about geopolitical or something like that. So I select oil and gas group,
Hmm.
but it's not respond my strategy. It's give, as you can see, a little bit careful at that time. So I changed strategy in the last couple days to
Hmm.
it will be the bad behavior. I would say the theme is the strong and weak hunting. As you can see in the platform of Trader Pool, you can find out the top gain and the top lose, right?
Yeah.
So after you see the pump and dump behavior, and you it may be drive you emotion, right?
Hmm.
So the first mistake for me at that point, my NAV dropped too much, and I forget to tell you a guy. I have stop out level daily stop out.
Yeah.
That means we make a lot of drawdown more than
I,
allow.
I love
Yes,
that. I love that. So you went through the experience of having a max
yes,
drawdown
yes.
day, and
At
then
that
you
time,
still were able to bounce back.
That's
That shows
awesome.
a lot. That shows a
yeah,
lot. You know what I mean? And like you said, I like how you brought up there that you were starting to catch like, okay, so what are the biggest movers, and how could I
yeah,
maybe trade those instead of going towards what your original theme was, which was looking into like kind of that energy trade. And got to give you a
thank
shout
you.
out, definitely, of your quantitative approach here as you're
Mhm.
seeing, guys. What do I always talk about? It's not necessarily taking your data, but how you analyze your data that's important. Here, you guys are seeing him trying to find his edge also by just looking into the data and what's working and what's not. I love this approach, Nate. So I definitely want to give you a shout out for that.
Yeah,
And in the
that's
long
big.
run, this is massive, guys. Learn from things like this, right? Do
Thank
you
you, Neil. Thank
truly
you.
track your results? Do you truly take a look at how you were approaching things? You guys see here a lot of things that are important too. Entry value. How much capital did I need to make that type of money? Right? All these types of things you can definitely learn off of. Win rate, taking a look at the average exits, things like that is all going to help you guys. Could I've held a little bit more and made more? These are all kind of analytics that you can take from these style of statistics. So Nate, definitely want to give you a shout out for that. That's a big up, man.
Okay. Every trader maybe think that the data is so boring, but for today, your guy will have fun with me. because
Definitely.
yes, because after I saw the wicked and strong hunter, I found out the MPS recovery, which is pumped to around 400% before. As you can see, snapshot here for the graph, and you see,
Love it.
yes, the MAS recovery pump around 400% and then drop. So I come up with nothing, but I have emotion driving to sell it. After that, I already apply maximum capital, maximum budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
What happened?
PXMD trade, man. That's a
Yes.
trade we're talking
What
about.
happened after that? It is the price fluctuation, and then hit my stop loss, and all my cash flow gone. And I have bad trade at that day, and I cannot trade anymore because I hit the stop out level.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
worries, no worries. It happened to me on that same ticker. Guys, I was shorting it. I think you were going along it, but we were on the same battle with that LIFW, and that's the
me
truth.
too.
That's a battle type of stock that was definitely a back and forth move. But I'm going to take a second here because I definitely want to give you the shout out. I think you deserve to see this live here. We're going to present you here with the certificate for the second place here. Definitely want to give you the shout out there.
Wow.
This you see it, Michael in the corner there, signed. We'll get it
Congrats.
over to you so that you can have it. The extra buying power there. Benzinga Pro.
Thank you.
And the door's open to you, my friend, here on our show, right? We do a live trading show every single day. We show trade the pool, and I want to leave the door open for you to always come back. If you ever want to come back, talk about some trading action, talk about what you're going through, your experience, and hopefully see you pull out some money from here shortly. I know that we'll be watching you.
Yeah.
I know Michael will be also keeping
No
up
doubt.
with it. So this type of journey is what it's all about. We love to see success. That's what we're all about here on Live Trading with Benzinga. So shout out to you.
Okay.
Amazing
Okay.
job, Ned.
Thank you, Michael. I'm really fan of you. I'm also in the Pfizer platform also.
Amazing.
Okay. Let's go to the climax day.
All right, let's go through one more here, and then we'll start wrapping
Okay.
it up here. So show us here the last trade that you can show us. Either it's kind of like the big win, or what you'd want to show us for the last trade here.
Okay.
Yeah, for what's the setup? I mean, the guys that are watching right now really would love to, I guess, to
Yeah, the
hear
setups.
what's the setup. What is it that got you into that
Yes.
second play?
Yes, you will see in next setup and something like that. This micro trend or in M1 to M5 trading, something like that. I will share later. Okay. After we have bad day, we come back to consider and realize myself. And for the next day is the last trading day. I am also take the theme weak and strong hunter, and I found that Magmatica. As you can see, the last day trading, you see Magmatica. The price go up around 10% pump, but I didn't do at the same with MSP. I go back to see the fundamental analysis. As you can see, the fundamental, I came back to see the financial ratio and find out something changed or not, but it's nothing changed. It's only the news which is about the phase 2 clinical trial result or something like that. So we totally confident that the price will be dumped later. So that's why I add on my trading theme. So just like when we find the strong and the weak, and we have to consider the fundamental, or we have to dig deep to find the facts that the fundamental will change or not, or the new can impact the operating cost or operating income or something like that. After I take a time to consider, but they are nothing to change the fundamental. For example, if they have a radical innovation or radical or breakthrough technology or something like that, it may be change the fundamental, but it is just like the continue phase 1 and phase 2 from the new product or new service. So I decide to short. After that, we go to the climax 1. As you see, we have the big theme at the short only in the dump phase. So you come back to see the the overview of the graph, such as 5 minutes. You can see overview, where is the gap, where is the support and resistance, and where is the opportunity to sell.
I like it.
That.
So you were going short on it.
Okay, and after that we action. So main theme is to short. So the key level is to find the supply level. You can see I make it the supply and demand, or you can say support and resistance or something like that. And you have to try to sell at high and buy at low. And after that, you have to lock the profit. You move stop loss into the profit that you would like to lock or something like that, and you do it continuous. As you can see, we trade just only one day, one night yesterday. You can see the behavior in M1. Let me say micro trend strategy. You can mark out the supply and mark out the demand or the resistance, something like that, and a little bit for trend line, as you can see. Trend line like that. For example, it's just like a three phase, as we know the Dow theory, right? It is the Dow 10, and then retracement, and after that we short, and then they drop, and we take profit, and after that waiting for the trend forming again, and you do at a cycle or something like that. But the key success factor is to lock profit by stop loss or something like that. And also I cannot say it is the better way to trade or not. At that time we remain only one day, let's say 6 hours. So I all in every order, because
You
we
went all
already
in.
have yes. And you can see that this is the trading point for me. And
Love it. And what time frame is your favorite? Is it 5, an hour? Do you use multiple? What do you like?
Normally I consider at the 3 time frame. There is higher one is for 1 hour, and the main time frame is 5 minutes. But if the 5 minutes cannot see clearly, I dig deep to the 1 minute or something like that. But it just
I like it. Yeah. So you kind of stick with the 5 and the hourly, but if you need to kind of take a look a little bit closer, you'll go to the 1 to kind of see those levels. I love the rejection move too, looking for the push back up to get short versus shorting into weakness, and then looking to kind of capitalize on where you're seeing the supply spots. So definitely a strategy that you guys can see, very quantifiable. And I think that that's important, right? It's trying to get to more of an objective outlook on these stocks that's going to definitely help you have success. So definitely appreciate you coming on, showing us all this, because the truth is not many will, right? And I think that it's important for you to come on and show us this. So definitely thank you for coming on. We're going to wrap it up here. But is any final words that you would like to give the traders out there that are continuing to battle and look for success? What would be the last kind of statement that you'd want to give them?
Okay. I just would like to say, keep fighting until the end of the day. Do not give up. And also, can I give a minute? Also, you have to deserve what do you resolve and improve from it, or something like. And you can see the pro and con. Okay, Kate, I would like to give a key takeaway for your guy for my strategy. The pro is do not give up, and the other key is accumulate cash flow before you betting, and the last one is use cash flow to bet the big win, and you can protect the capital. And the other one, the weak or the con that you will not make, or if you would like to do, you have to be careful with the other factor, such as you for hunt the weak and the strong performance, as I failed at the first time, and you come back with improvement to see the financial analysis, and then you implement the new thing. And the other one is guessing, trade without no plan and overtrade. As I say, this is competition and it is the last day, and we have stop out level, that the list is only stop out level. So that's all for your guy today. Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Definitely, I know Michael appreciated you coming on. So we want to give you a thank you. And like we said, we'll reach out with the certificate, and definitely you can also reach out to me. I would love to kind of stay connected with you. Mitch@benzinga.com. We'll make sure to kind of give you that email and leave the door open for you to come on and talk some trading sometimes. So definitely a big move. I like how you were able to bounce back. That's so important. Take learning lessons. You guys saw it, the pros and the cons, right? That's what the biggest value was from here. So big thank you for coming on, and we'll bring you back. So keep trading out there and let us know how it goes. Jump into our room whenever you feel free.
We'd love to see the evaluation.
Community is about. Any last words for him, Michael? And I'll let him go ahead and hop out here.
Yeah, I would love to see his evaluation right now when he will start trading the evaluation to see how it goes.
Love it. Love it. Have a good one. And definitely let us know how it goes. Let us know how the extra buying power helps you out. And we wish you the best. So, and a lot of people are taking a lot from this. And I wanted to give you the shout out that our chat really appreciated. They're all taking notes. They're all kind of going to look back at this and really kind of slow this down so that they can learn how you went about it. Appreciate you letting us know strategy and everything involved. Shout out to you on your success and for the journey forward. Moving forward, we hope that you are able to rule the pool, as they say. So continue forward, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks a lot, you guys. See you next time.
All right. Take care. Definitely hit the like for that. It was a great time with you today, Michael, and thank you for bringing us today the second place winner and stories that we can all learn from, right? And that's what it's all about. So like always, you guys can definitely check out Trade the Pool if you guys are looking to go ahead and get into the prop game action. Any last words you want to say, Michael, before you get out of here?
No, it was great. Be happy to be here again. Just to wrap my trading, I took the UPST in the morning that got me out, but took also coin, Qs, and Roblox to short.
I like it.
Working pretty good so far, yeah.
Okay, like always, you guys can keep up with Michael, Trade the Pool. We'll also make sure to throw up Michael's Twitter there so you guys can reach out to him on Twitter. Have a good one, Michael. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Thanks again, Michael. Really appreciate it.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. All right, getting back to the trading action. I'll tell you guys what I opened up while we were in that interview. I opened up an SQQQ long there. I got 814, willing to add on pullbacks. Getting Verizon pullback right now. I was fighting myself. I was up like 48 and I was going to take the whole trade off, but I was like, you know what? I need at least a little bit over 50 here. And then I can take the whole trade off. If we can get back into the 60s, I will probably just take all that Verizon and run. Looking for the SQQs to now start running as I see the Qs starting to drop here as they're going to 371 and the SPY starting to drop also. Roku, still amazing trade there for the swing. And wouldn't you know it, guys, SMCI is going back to red. So that's a little bit concerning. I was up big there, almost 4%. And now it's already back down. So we'll see what happens on that SMCI. Look at that move. Not what I wanted to see for the swing, but
no,
hey,
definitely not.
It was close to profits too. A little bit pushed through this 264 probably would have got me up more than 4% overnight. And if I take more than 4% overnight on swing trades, yeah, I'll take the money and run because that's an easy overnight swing trade that can continue pushing to the next level. All right, let's see what else is going out there, team. If you guys have stocks you guys want to take a look at, maybe some smaller names, I'm going to also go ahead and put up Ryan's charts to maybe talk a little bit about what's going on in the smaller names. I know that he's been keeping up with those.
Yeah, I'm looking at some TNON here. I want to see, let me actually move this order to 265. TNON, this is one of the ones that we've been watching here from the list. This is in the Trade the Pool one, Mitch.
There you go.
Yep, all good. So waiting to see if we get a fill here on TNON. We were stopped out of CDIO. TNON popping a little bit here now. So we'll see if it actually comes back and fills me. That's one of the ones that I was watching. We were also watching NVOS while Nat was talking there. NVOS, number of chatters in the chat here trading this one. This one, a huge move up, a great pullback to the VWAP and a big bounce. So congratulations to anyone that's taking this one. Also, BLDE looks like that might be going towards the highs. So there's your recap on some of those smaller names.
SQQQ pulling back now. I'd love a pullback towards like 1806, 1805s to add on the SQQQs, but we'll see if we get it. Also going to take a look at SOXS. That's looking like it wants to break above 1076 today. All right, guys, if you guys see any names you guys want to talk about, make sure we throw them up there and we'll keep looking. That Life one went all the way up to past 11, back down to the VWAP here at 8. That's I'll tell you what, guys, on this account, you probably won't see me trading LIFW.
Let's talk about that because that's one of the things that the competition did do. Stuff like this is I mean, it's up to you if you're going to trade it.
Yeah.
I know that there are a number of people in here that made good money off of it, and congratulations. For me, stuff like this, it's just too volatile. I would rather try something else than trying something that's a little bit dangerous like this. That type of movement, I'm not good at it. I'm not good at handling that trade. So, this is not one I would take in my regular account either.
What I would say to Nat that was just here, right? He was looking at like 1 hour resistance, things like that. Look how this goes right into that resistance, turns right back down. So that's something that maybe you guys can look into, things like that, right? That went right into that spot and rejected it.
Yeah, so and Mitch, one more thing on that 1 hour resistance. You've been mentioning that quite a bit, and I don't know if you recall when I redid my Trade the Pool screen, I redid it so that I could add that 1 hour chart to the screen. Been looking at that for resistance levels, and that actually has been helpful. Did that from you, and I also did the 3-minute chart with the MACD from Smoke Tuna in the chat. Both of those have actually ended up helping it. Yeah.
And the key there is to go test it yourself, right? It's not like it's 100%.
And that's exactly it. That's exactly it.
But the key is to go test it. See it for yourselves, guys, right? I mean, look for those levels and then be like, okay, is this like pullback level resistance that I want to focus on? But I always look at those hourly charts, man. I see a lot of times hourly support come into play, even with the smaller names. We'll see what happens, guys. Verizon coming back on me here. I might add to this position, but I just got to be careful. Definitely don't want it to pop above 36 now, but might add to this position as communication services is still in the red. It's trying to come back, but I'm going to look to see if it rejects here and comes right back down.
Market coming back
low too.
Market coming back in now. Looks like on the S&P cash, we haven't gone red yet. Looks like we're holding it right about flat here. Dow's right about flat, and the NASDAQ did go red, but it's very, very close to flat. So a little bit of a pullback here from that pre-market. We'll see if this continues to break down, or do we end up getting a bounce?
All right, guys, I'm going to look for a bounce towards my entry, 3590s. I can add there. Looking to see Verizon reject. Looking to see the Qs keep coming down. SQQQ continue to take off here. It did pull back, hasn't come back to that VWAP area. That's why I haven't added to it, but I'm going to continue to watch that SQQQ. How's the American Airlines doing? I'm sure it's pulling back now with the market overall pulling back. So just be careful out there.
And Tnon, I never ended up getting filled on that. That moving up towards the highs here. We'll see if it takes out 296 and 3 on Tnon if we can keep going.
Confectioners riding higher, Hershey's riding higher, defensive names going higher, household personal products getting a little bit of a move today. UL, Unilever, Colgate Palmolive going higher. I also see Estee Lauder going towards 116.80s. We'll see if that gets to 117, but defensive names doing pretty decent today. That's kind of more of a negative for the market, but we'll see what happens here. If things can stay green or do they just go deeper red? Leading the downside, utilities, healthcare, and energy. All right, SMCI getting a little bit of a bounce there. I'm going to go ahead and set a stop now at this point, break even, because it is bouncing, but I don't want it to come through my kind of swing trade there. So I'm going to go ahead and focus here on that. I'll be right with you guys. Let's see what happens. I'm going to probably set 254 as that out. Just a little bit under my entry here. All right, set that at 254.03s. Now Roku is just cashing, baby, up 3.3% on that one. Now it's kind of, do I want to step up on Verizon? This is my shot there if I wanted to step up here. I'm going to look for the 89 kind of break-even entry for the extra, but Roku, oh, man, that was the move, man. Look at that. Pa-pow goes Roku. Not a bad one there, guys. Unity had some weird algo action this morning, so I would avoid that just because I feel like there's some computers at play there that I don't want to be nowhere near. Had some weird action this morning, so I'm staying away from Unity. That's just something that I saw.
Jay Rice mentioning GoPro, G-Pro here up 19%. I think that's what you meant by CT there. The interesting thing about GoPro, let me go ahead and add this one here. There we go. So here's your intraday chart on GoPro. You can see this is really stopping right in here. We're definitely at this resistance zone. When we flip to the daily, you can see we actually just went right to this 200-day. I've got the 200-day at 316, the current price at 319. So it looks like we are above it. Let's see if we end up using this as resistance or maybe close above this and then turn this into support here. If we do that, perhaps GoPro could have some more legs here. What was the short interest on GoPro? Not terrible. 5.5% of the float shorted with 5.7 days to cover. I'd like to, that days to cover is a little bit high, but like to see that percent float a short a little bit higher for this to have a multi-day squeeze. But
FINRA, give me better short data, man. Retail traders need it. I get so upset with short side data. That's what needs to change in the industry. All right, there's an attempt into the 90s. It rejected 90s, so I'm just going to take the short now, guys. I'm adding to the Verizon there. Just added a little bit. We'll see what happens. Taking a shot.
Tnon looking like that's trying to go. SNTI looks like that's trying to test 70 cents here. That's a penny stock, by the way. Nice little move above. Let me get rid of this. Nice little move above the VWAP and a push away here on SNTI for all you penny players out there. Looks like WIS is on this one.
Yeah, I wonder how that sleep number was doing. That was an ugly report.
Which one are you talking about?
Sleep number. You didn't catch that report today?
What is the ticker?
SNBR.
No. I guess it makes sense.
The mattress. The mattress.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with what you're talking about, but I'm not familiar with the stock.
Yeah, SNBR.
Don't they say that a lot of NFL players sleep number beds?
They say that 80% own sleep numbers. What I think happened there, Ryan, is they connected with the Players Association or the NFL, and they said, we'll give it to you for free. If you guys own it.
Of them took it.
Yeah, exactly, Ryan. That's what I think exactly happened there. You see that little trick there that you can do? Just reach out to, we should reach out to the NHL. Do you need Benzinga Pro?
Yeah, 90% of NHL players use Benzinga. That's perfect.
You know it. You like it? You like the little trick, Ryan?
I like it.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Gotta do what you gotta do.
You know what we gotta do, Ryan? We gotta reach out to the Lions football team. Get them on Benzinga Pro.
Hey,
90,
we had dinner in their locker
98%.
room last year, so that's possible.
Yep, 98% of the Lions, use Benzinga Pro. That would be a pretty good line.
Ooh, look at this inside info. First of all, Wisdom just coming out with the fire. Sleep number is booty. Okay. But Bourne giving us a little bit more there. They leak down and start to suck after about 2 years. For the money, it's not worth it. I've had 2 of them. You know what's funny about this, Bourne, is that I feel the same way. The big expense mattresses are just going to wear out. That's just the nature of the beast, right?
That's the nature.
And so the real expensive ones, if you're just going to replace it, maybe get something a little bit less expensive. I really like, the last 2 that I've got have been foam mattresses, memory foam from Costco, and they've been inexpensive and great. And when they wear out, you just get a new one. That's been my strategy.
Or you look for those long-term return policies, maybe. You said I could have 365 nights, and if I don't like it on the 364, I'm giving it back to you. Well,
sounds to me, Mitch, like even if you liked it on 364, you'd be giving it back. But that's neither here nor there.
Anything. All right, guys, smash the like if you guys enjoy, of course, live trading. Let's see what we can get here. Verizon's starting to come down here. I don't want to get back above 35.90s now. I wanted to go ahead and start dropping here. I'm also taking a look to see if the SQQQs want to make that move. Will the Qs come right back here? Or will we finally start getting a declining day? You know what tells me maybe the downside action? Microsoft is down 0.33%. Did do a kind of a bull trap out the gates. Let's see if that starts to give up some of the gains. And that's when I can see the SQQQ going higher. So Microsoft is pulling back there. It's down about 0.32 from the opening price was right here. Opening price 361.92. Now down to 360.75 and going red. I will look for Apple to go red and Google to go red. NVIDIA is still green. Meta's red there, and so is TSM. So keeping an eye on the big boys, right? Will they hold the market up? I don't see it right now. SQQQ is going higher there. So now it's kind of like if I want to step up here, this is the time to step up. So I'm moving up my limit to add at 1808. If not, I'll just continue to grind higher with this 100 shares. And I'm sure that might get me out on that SMCI trade, but hey, Valero is one I'll look at for energy to kind of flip and just go back down. It's still red, but it's trying to make a green move. I'll show you guys Valero right now. Boom, that doesn't look too bad. XLE was one that I wanted to take a look at for pop and drop. Oh, well, there you guys see it. A little bit too late.
Pop and drop, oh, man.
I talked about this yesterday on Start Swing Trade. A lot of the times, like I do this talk like on Start Swing Trade, and then I come in here and I'm just like, well, I was looking for XLE to pop and drop. Well, there it goes, guys. It's kind of hard to come after it now. I needed to come back to like 83.65 for me to come after it. We'll see what happens there. And where can you guys catch this kind of outlook? Start Swing Trade, guys. 3:30 Eastern. I'll see you later today.
T-Non Smoke Tuna. Yeah, I still have the limit order for 265. Got VWAP at 266. I don't think T-Non's going to make it back there. We'll see. Still might be challenging that 3 level.
All right, we'll see what else is going on. Nice little bounce back there. Will Verizon get the down hit? Will Square bounce here? Or not Square, SQQQ. I know that some people were taking a look at different stocks today, so let's go to the SPY, see what's leading the up action, see what's leading down. Up action, you got eBay, Match, and EL. Then American Airlines coming in just a little bit like 4th place there. You got this Expedia Internationals of Washington, EXPD. I've never heard of that stock in my life, but it's a shipping and logistics stock. So that's something to keep in mind. I have been hearing more and more talk about shipping and logistics. Shout out to Wisdom in the chat. Sometimes he talks about those, and he's been talking about maybe looking for a potential spike in shipping costs because of what's going on in the Middle East. So that's actually a good outlook to give. I love when people tell me things like that. That's something that I even said, okay, Wisdom, I'm going to take that from you, and I'm going to look to see what happens in the shippers to see if we start seeing a lift. All right, we'll see what else is being mentioned out there. Danny's talking about NVIDIA, buying NVIDIA right now. Okay, you're taking a shot on that NVIDIA. The key, though, to remember on NVIDIA is that, man, this thing is up massively in the last couple of days. So if you're going for a new position here, realize that you went from 397 to 365. And at some point, I don't think stocks go in one direction. That's just what I would say. But we'll see if this can hold the low today and keep going, keep climbing. Then again, I'm a little bearish on NVIDIA. Unless it can get really above this 477, 480s, that will negate this head and shoulders pattern. Until that point, I'm still kind of bearish. Yeah, crude dropped big yesterday. XLE was a good idea. Yeah, 13, no worries. It's going to be one of those that I'll look back and I'll be like, shake my head. But hey, Mitch, what are your thoughts on Sundial? I think it's just straight crap. But
same, or whatever.
There's sometimes I got to tell you guys, which cannabis companies do I like? I can tell you that, Jonathan. I don't mind it, but SNDL isn't going to be it. I'll tell you that much. There is one that we've been talking about on the Dales report, which is AYR Wellness. So that's one that you guys can keep on. But a lot of these are OTC names, right? And so that's the hard part. Not going to be trading it in trade the pool right now. So, all right, what are you guys taking a look at out there, team? Keep throwing them up. VFS. Oh man, I won't touch that, Bobby. That just seems like a kind of try to play the hero type of stock. I won't even go over that stock, Bobby. That's how much I think that stock is crap. But that's my outlook, right? That doesn't mean it has to be yours. Like always, this information is for, of course, informational purposes only, not investment advice, guys. And we can hold positions in the stocks that are maintained. We'll see what happens here today. It's been a battle, and I haven't still gotten my Verizon to start breaking down here. Let's see what happens, team. It's a battle out there. Qs are still going lower, though. That's what's making me feel confident about this one. We'll just see if we can get it.
Tuna, I still have my order out on T-Non. I'm going to try to stick to my price of 265. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't.
We'll see what happens there. I'm canceling my ad for the SQQQs. They could just go higher as the Qs are going lower here. But if we get a bounce all the way to resistance, that's going to be a further down move in the SQQQs for a while. I'm looking to see if what happens now. Does the SPY bounce or does it take another leg lower? Downside in the SPY today, you got Biogen for solar. Man, I've talked about these solar stocks and how they can keep dropping like a rock. First Solar is dropping today. Not looking that good there. WBD right back down. That might affect Para. Para down 2%, right back down there. And what do I see leading the market? Nothing in the green from the open. Guys, very important. I think that I catch that, right? Nothing, no sector in the green from the open. Not even defensives. That tells me I'm playing more downside action today.
Yep. Let it come in.
LIFW now down to 788s. T-Non starting to come down.
We'll see if I get filled on T-Non.
Roblox, 3 resistance attempts to go above the 42, failing to get back up there towards the 4180s, now starting to come down fast. This is one that I would not, I wouldn't step in front of. We'll see what happens on Unity. That's going lower. ARKK going lower. A lot of those names taking a big hit. Ooh, here's one that I've been looking to drop for a little while now. And maybe it was just a day or two early as CRISPR starts to pull back and some of those therapeutic stocks are starting to fall. Hood down to 838. Man, that keeps taking a hit. Verizon going a little bit in the red here. So just kind of considering if I want to add here or just kind of keep working it. Communication services are trying to work with a little bit of a bounce. I'll see if anything goes in the green. I got real estate just slightly up. And as soon as I say that, it goes back neutral. That's how it goes. What are you guys watching out there? Ryan, what are you seeing?
T9, still watching T9 and see if this actually comes in. There are some smaller plays that we're still kind of watching in Benzinga Pro here. Real, which is one that you mentioned earlier, ticker Real. That's one of them. That actually continues to push the highs. We did take off yesterday's after hours high, moving higher here on 210. I noticed that HSCS, penny stock, huge relative volume, just an absolute breakdown here. We have the wrong. Oh, did I kill my screen share? Yeah, I must have. I'm sorry. I didn't. Let me get that back up here. We can roll through some of these real fast. Boom. So here's the. Okay, here's the penny stock that's totally breaking down. PRSC, this the opposite. This is a penny stock that's moving up for all you penny players out there. NVOS, this is the one we talked about a little bit. There was someone in the chat, I think it was Will. Someone earlier was mentioning this. NVOS, really nice move. Came into the VWAP on just a big time knife. In fact, that was the biggest volume candle of the day. We settled just beneath it and then gave us another pop here. NVOS, this might be done for the day. But might be worth keeping on your watch list. We already talked a little bit about Real. I think that's probably it. AVDL, yeah, that wasn't really moving around. And then SNTI, sorry, that was the other penny stock. That looks like that's on the back side of the move there.
Did you say the backside of the moon?
Backside of the move. Backside of the move. Try to keep it clean here.
Trying. All right, NVOS not done, says Wiz. All right, keep your eyes on that.
Okay.
We'll see if we see some more action out there. All right, let's keep going, team. We'll see what else is being mentioned out there. But just kind of break even now, guys. Not really much happening, and I think this is a lot of slowdown that we're seeing right now. Now let's see if we get a big ramp up in speed here. Rivian down to 1675s.
Luis in our chat here got 4th in Trade the Pool. Congrats. I'm sorry, I didn't even realize. Luis. Yeah, I didn't even realize that was happening.
I didn't even notice that, man.
My bad.
The dark side of the moon, they like that reference.
It's the backside of the move.
No, they got it. They're just enjoying it. Backside of the mood. Of course, the
T9 back up to the highs here didn't. T9 back up to the highs here did not quite get down to my buy point. All right. It's okay. Smoke tuna. Look, it's okay. This is not really a big deal. We're going to stick to the plan. We're going to stick to some of the levels that we saw. Didn't quite got within 3 cents, by the way. 3 cents.
Stepping up in Verizon, guys.
3 cents, 4 cents. Excuse me. So I was close. It zunated me. Didn't quite get to the 1 cent, but.
What? Got zunated?
Got zunated.
All right, going to look for one more kind of attempt to get up above this 90 EMA, 372.50s. And if that doesn't happen, I'm going to look for it to take out 371.75 here on the Qs and go lower. I might add the SQQQ there, looking for the rip back. Are we going to get some downside action today? Intel's been on a straight leak from this morning, just to give you guys an idea on that. So is Datadog, whatever you want to call it. DXCM also going down pretty fast here. EMPH. Seen a lot of stocks that were hot yesterday not do as good today. One trend that I'm seeing.
Not surprised to see that, especially given the way the market is performing. Just kind of taking a break.
Yeah. Array and Toast, some of the hardest hit stocks.
New highs there really quick on Tenon and an immediate knife right after that.
Okay.
Nice job, 13, playing that, getting out right at that. This is what we were talking about earlier. Don't be afraid to take the gains if you have them. Sounds like that's exactly what you did here instead of waiting for that parabolic move that might never show up. So great job there, 13. Smoke Tuna, let us know what your target is. I think that you're still long Tenon, if I'm not mistaken.
In and out like a fast food restaurant. All right, guys, looking for this third rejection from the 3591s to see if Verizon wants to come down.
There's 3 on Tenon.
3560s.
Yo, there we go, Tuna.
All right, traders, it's about 10:48. We'll be getting to all access coming up, so stick around, team. That's going to be coming up next. We always got a lot more for you guys right here, of course, on Benzinga. And of course, all access is where we get you guys some new stories that you guys might be uncovering and potential investments. So stick around, team, for that. That's going to be led by my man, of course. You might know him, Zunaid. Yeah, he's going to be coming on. You know that guy. That guy will be on. He'll be on the kind of lead all access. So stick around for that. Definitely smash the like. Quantum saying Lockheed Martin a little oversold, but it's been on a run on the daily. Is it oversold based on an indicator? Let me know, Quantum. Wisdom, shorting gold. That's interesting. Boyle, is that what you were bringing up, Wes?
B-I-O-L.
Okay,
B-I-O-L.
I was about to say,
that fooled me earlier
banned.
too.
Boyle's banned from this show.
You banned the Widowmaker, huh?
Yeah, man. It made me a widow, maybe. No,
Nice.
the truth is natural gas. Natural gas is not the way to go, or at least for me. It always goes bad on that one. I've tried it. And there's certain names that you got to just put on the ban list and be like, I ain't touching it no more. That's one of them. All right, team, here's that QQQ reversal action that I'm looking to see if it rejects like 372.50s, 372.58, and then comes back down. Doesn't even get to VWAP around the 372.83s. Back above that, market could come right back up. So here's that attempt to go towards that 372.50s, and then I'm going to look for a flush through the daily lows of 371.78. All right, team. Let's see if we can get that action. Trying to be patient here with the SQQQ trade. All right, we'll see if the Qs start to get down here. And it's 10:50, so we're almost wrapping up, team. If you guys have a ticker you guys want us to cover, now's your opportunity. Let's see what happens here on the Qs. So looking to see if we can come and reject this area, and I'll draw kind of a rectangle there to kind of show you guys where I'm looking at. So into this space, if we reject that, I think it's still bearish, but we're rejecting this resistance, not even getting to the next layer. I thought we would attempt to get to the next layer and then turn around. Right now, we've rejected this 372.40 a couple times. So just trying to be patient here. Looking around, team. What do you guys see out there? Valero's, is it going red yet? Trying to go green. I'm gonna let that try to go back to 123.50s today and then probably hammer on that. That's Valero. show you guys that right now. It's trying to break this. Would love for it to reject one more time from this kind of like 123.25 area and then come down, but has been bullish like all morning. I could see it eventually taking out 122. That's what I have a swing trade already on this one. I was willing to add to it. I have 122.79. So you can see I'm like slightly below this, right around the VWAP right now. Nice reversal on Palantir. Okay. Take a look at that. I think Kramer might have been the omen for Palantir.
Oh, here we go.
He clearly said that he liked it at 19. So
oh, yikes. Okay. Immediate reversal from when he said he liked it.
You might want to start thinking about those moves like I think about it. I'm like in a long, it's looking great, and then I hear Kathy got in it. I'm like, oh my God, where's the sell button? Where's the sell button? I need to get out of this thing now. Yeah, it doesn't go well. Usually when these big investors get into the stock, you might get a short time pop, but I've seen a lot of times it comes back down after those levels. That's the hard part there. All right, guys, it's 10:53. We'll be switching over in just about like 5 minutes here. We'll get you over to 11 a.m. right before that, get you to all access. And it just seems like the Qs are just sticking around here. They still haven't made the move and gone sideways now for pretty much, what do we got? Like 30 minutes of sideways action here. What's in the red, right? Everything from the open. That's why I'm not...
I like the dramatic ad that you had on there.
Yeah. You got to work on those, man. You know, you got to get better.
CDIO, Wes calling CDIO right back to VWAP. We'll see if it can end up pushing away from VWAP. Really need that to try too. That would really make for a great trade here today. I was stopped out of that earlier.
All right, let's keep going, guys. Smash the like if you guys are enjoying all the action out there, and stay safe out there, traders. All I can say is,
I've been waiting for this.
I think Ryan and I have been waiting for this. Will we get the turnaround here today? Q's heading down to 371.99. Will it make that next low here? Let's see if it just flushes out here. SQQQ is already going higher. I didn't get my ad, so I'm just going to leave the 100 shares here. And this might become a swing trade team. So what would I mean by that? Well, if I get a nice little big rip, I'm going to probably sell half of this and leave this overnight. I think we can make a move back here towards the support of 1860s, which would be a resistance. So that's where I'd probably sell a little bit and then just leave the rest break even to let this work. We'll see what happens. I'm going to try to do a little bit more swing trading with this account too. So we'll see how it goes, team. All right, Ryan, we got about 2 or 3 minutes. Anything you want to wrap up with, talk about, or that you're seeing out there?
No, I really want to see where the SPY finishes today. The day trades today, at least on my end, have not been great. Our chat doing a really great job identifying some of these trades. Really haven't got great moves here, but we'll see. A couple of them to continue to watch into the afternoon would be CDIO. I guess we got to throw Life W in there just because of the movement that it's had the past several days. Just be really careful with this one. This is, to me, this is dangerous here. This intraday chart looks like it's going to curl and maybe move back towards the highs. Just be careful. What were some of the other ones that we talked about? Roblox was going to be on there. This actually hasn't really moved, although it's doing a really good job holding its gains. BLDE, this is Blade Air Mobility. This also doing a really good job holding up here. We'll see if this can actually make a run towards that 3. What do we have? 3 and then 305. That could really get this going here. And then what else did we have in here? Oh, BIOL. We were just talking about that. BIOL, we'll see if this ends up trading up to the VWAP and moving through it. Definitely have a lot of tickers to watch for the afternoon here. Morning has not been all that eventful, at least not on my end. But once again, I just want to thank everyone in our group for participating in the Trade the Pool competition. I had a really poor showing. However, really did enjoy it, learned some stuff, and got some practice for things that I would not normally do there. So we're all about making it better and one foot forward after the next.
Yeah, definitely, guys. And now that you guys have experience and know all about Trade the Pool, like always, guys, if you guys are looking for the account and get funded up to 260,000 short, long, any penny stocks, more than 12,000 stocks and ETFs, all trading styles, of course, welcome. Check it out, team. I just threw up the reference link there. If you guys want to check it out, maybe get yourself in on the action, especially after the competition. Now, one thing I would definitely recommend is taking it a little bit easy as you come out of competition phase into the real account.
Yeah.
That's what I've been trying to do all day long, is make sure that I'm keeping my risk and reward really calculated so I don't take a big hit today. And that's very important. We'll see what happens. Like always, you guys can always reach out to Gil directly. I'm going to throw up his email right now. And I'm also going to throw up, of course, our help email for Trade the Pool. If you guys ever need to reach out for anything, or maybe you just have a small question before you go ahead and you make your investment, check it out, team. I'll throw up both of those emails right now. And you can always reach out to us, like always, shows@benzinga.com. And Smoke Tuna, bringing up the CDIO. Let's take a quick look at that before we get out of here, team. Finally going into the green here for Verizon. In a little bit, I'll be taking some profits. But let me focus on CDIO really quickly. Ryan, you traded this one. What do you see, actually? I'll go to you.
Yeah, I mean, so CDIO, so I was stopped out on the plunge. If you actually go to a shorter time frame there, Mitch, maybe a 1 minute, what do you have there? 1 hour? Yeah, hourly is not going to show what happened here, but see that big move down right from the VWAP? This is what stopped me out. Good news here, though, is that we actually regained that VWAP. And the thing to keep in mind there is, look, when we crossed through that VWAP, look how it tested it a few times, right? We ran up into it twice, then we took it out. We kind of came back towards it and held it. This actually looks good here. Let's see if we get any juice to the upside on CDIO. Here we go. Here, just as I was saying, just
Juicy,
as I was saying,
juicy.
we start to get that juice. What were you in there, Smoke Tuna? Are you up buying that up there?
There you go to 67s. We'll see if we break 80s. Maybe get to the $2 spot or the 190 spot, right? That's kind of the next levels that I'd be looking at. That was the big target. We'll see what happens. Of course, if the market wants to keep going down and we just put a wick to the downside, we'll see if that keeps coming down. Like always, you guys can keep up with all the action. Where? Right here. Of course, on Benzinga, right? Like always, you guys can always keep up with Ryan Faluna. You guys see it, R Faluna on Twitter. Give my man a follow. Have a good one, Ryan. Take care, my friend, and go Blackhawks.
We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll wrap it up, team. Like always, smash the like. We're going to bring you guys over to All Access. That's coming up next. I'll be bringing on the man with the best fade in just a second. Looking around to see what I can get into here. See if I can continue with my Verizon short. So that's what I'm looking at, team. It got down to 35.80s. I'm looking for the break of 35.74s. That's going to make me a good profit on the day and going to continue battling, right? We'll see what also happens on the SQQQs. If that can continue working, there's a lot of trades out there for you guys to take a look at. And like always, we'll be here battling with you guys. Smash the like always, team. Let's get you guys over to All Access in just a second here. It's 11 a.m. and we're going to keep battling. Qs are dropping, though. So we'll see if we make another low here and continue to see a little bit of a decline in the market today. SPY also trying to make a new low here. That's 436.51s. We'll look to see if that go ahead and break down. Microsoft, one of the most important stocks for me right off the VWAP here, and we'll look to see if it goes red. Now to go ahead and kick it to my man, the man himself, the man with the freshest fade in Wall Street. My man Zunaid, what's going on? How we doing? Ooh, the freshest fade, but not the freshest mute button.
Oh, man. See, I was listening to TikTok videos earlier. I didn't want to interrupt, and I just messed myself up. There you go.
Hey, it happens to the best of us, man. I know that you'll be getting after it, giving us a new opportunity. So let us know what you see, and it's always good to see you, Zunaid. Take over, my friend.
Well, buddy. Good luck to you, and let's go ahead and get this party started. Chat, you know that we love getting you executives from publicly traded companies so that we can get your questions in the chat answered. So we'd love for you to be active because we've got a good one today as well. It's Dr. Wong Tru, who is the CEO and chairman of Oncotelic Therapeutics. Ticker on the OTCQB market is OTLC. All Access starts right now. Dr. Tru, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Appreciate you for joining us today. And I know you've got a presentation, so whenever you want to bring that up, you can just call for it and we'll show the slides if you would like to do so. But before we kind of dive into the nitty gritty of things, if you could explain it to me and the viewers at home, like we're five, what is it that your company does?
So our company is a biotechnology company. We're developing immunotherapy against solid tumors. Our main asset is OT-101, which is an antisense drug, similar to the COVID vaccine and other drug of that type. Our focus has been to leverage on the clinical data and push it into commercializations. But given the current financing situation in biotech, there's no way you can raise a couple $100 million to put into commercialization. So we formed a joint venture with Golden Mountain Partner, where we put the asset in. We take 45% of the joint venture. Golden Mountain Partner with they have 60 billion in asset, and they put in initially 23 million to get the program running. And we're planning to grow that joint ventures into an IPO in Hong Kong by early or middle of next year. And the plan tentatively is to go IPO at roughly $1 billion in valuation. So that's currently the market cap for OTLC is what, 10, 15 million?
Mhm.
But that's a big jump in valuations. So our focus has been really on developing these joint ventures.
All right. Well, I appreciate the insight on that. Yeah, it definitely is a big jump, but cancer is such a hot topic. A lot of folks have tried to go ahead and process it to where it's a little bit beneficial for the human life. So what kind of makes the RNA therapeutics so effective against cancers?
Well, our focus is looking at TGF beta, which is the main driver of oncogenesis, but it has been a really difficult one to tackle. There's a lot of people targeting it and fail. There are quite a few spectacular failure, even in the last couple of years. Primarily because there are three isoforms, 1, 2, and 3. We focus on 2. Everyone else focus on 1 and 3. But as it turned out, our bet is right, is that knocking down 2, you improve survival across multiple cancer types. But knocking down 1 and 3, you actually worsen survival. So right now, we have at this time point, we clearly have a differentiation, and we clearly at advantage. And our drug is into phase 3 trial, and we feel very confident that we be able to commercialize this drug and be an effective immunotherapy against cancer. There, you're really looking at curing the cancer. You're not looking at prolonging life. You're actually looking at getting rid of the tumor itself.
Got it. And then you mentioned earlier that you the stake that you have in Cyber Biosciences, that's the 1 billion eval when you go public, right? That's what you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Just want to confirm that for the folks at home. Now, recently you received an award for top cancer solutions provider in 2023. Why did you kind of get the award? What was so special about what y'all are doing that you had deserved this?
I think it's in recognition of the fact that we've been at it for a long time, and there's a lot of naysayer that TGF beta 2 is the wrong isoform to go after. For a while there, every time we go anywhere, they say, well, we're going after beta 1. But now it's clearly proven that beta 1 is not going to be the right target. Beta 2 is the right one. So.
Got it. Appreciate the insights on that. Yeah, because you talked about initiating earlier about the 2B and the phase 3 study of OT-101. Can we dive a little bit more into like what the trial of that will look like moving forward?
We're moving into a phase 3 trial in pancreatic cancer, which is a really difficult tumor type. It hasn't changed over the last 20, 30 years in terms of survival. It's still the worst tumor type to have. And actually, the incidence of pancreatic cancer increased. And mortality wise, pancreatic cancer is going to be the top second or top third in terms of mortality. So in this trial, we're looking at enrolling about 500 patients. half of them are going to be standard of care, which is for fear knocks. The other half going to be OT101 plus standard of care, which is for fear knocks. And we feel very comfortable that we'll be able to beat the standard of care. Once, if that happened, the interim read is roughly a year from now. When that happened, we would apply to early submission to the FDA, and we'll do a rolling submission until completion of the trial. So we're anticipating getting it approved and on the market within 3 years.
Got it. All right. So 3 years timeline is what we're kind of looking at that. Now, AI has kind of changed the world in so many different ways, right? Even whenever I do my job in terms of research, broadcasting, different things like that, AI has definitely helped me kind of up my game, take it to the next level. How is AI changing how research is being done specifically for y'all?
We embraced AI early on. We acquired Ponder AI, which is in 2019. Since then, we have implemented the AI technology across the company. We're using it to drive everything from creating chatbots so that you can take your data, your document, and for the employee to be able to query and ask and be able to dive into the document without this barrier in terms of knowledge. And as you know, most in a company developing a drug, you involve a lot of specialty, going from toxicology to clinical to regulatory. Everyone speaks different language, right? The fact that you have AI sitting in the middle, everyone throw their question at the AI, the chatbot, and the response came back. So we kind of remove all the silos and allow everyone to communicate effectively. Even you're going from the entry level employee to myself, to the C-level folks, everyone able to communicate with one another.
Gotcha. Appreciates the insights on that one, especially with, again, I feel like AI is just going to kind of unlock different things that we haven't been able to do and also help us do it faster so we can get further down the road with our timelines as well. Doc, we've talked about a lot of things here today. I did kind of want to give you the floor in case there's anything that you'd like to discuss. I know you have a slide, so if you wanted to talk about that for a minute or any other topic, the show is yours.
No, I think the main thing for our investor to realize is that the company main asset is OT101, which is being developed at the joint venture. We did that so that we don't have to go out and do a big raise and dilute everyone down and take on warrants that kill the company. So right now, the joint venture, we have 20 million in the bank, and like we are backed by Golden Mountain Partner, which has 60 billion in asset. So we in a really good position to grow the company. Well, this first year we've been developing OT101. We're moving into clinical trial. Right now we're developing a series of nanomedicines to flesh out the pipeline. And in 2024, we're going to build out a 200,000 square foot facility to support manufacturing for our commercialization activity, as well as to use the excess for a CDMO activity. So the company has grown tremendously, and the valuation has increased over time, which people don't really realize that. We don't talk about it much, but that's where we are.
No, totally understand. I appreciate the perspective on where you have been, where you are, and where you're looking to go. Thank you so much for joining us. That is Dr. Wang Tru, who is the CEO and chairman of Oncotelic Therapeutics. Ticker on the OTCQB market is OTLC. Doc, thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Absolutely. It's always great when you can have conversations about what biotech companies are doing in the world in terms of cancer at the very least. We appreciate you in the chat for watching All Access. We'll see you next time.